This is one of those moments where spotters play such a huge role in what's happening. Every one of these cars has a crew member up top on the grandstand. That's
someone's into the wall. I think that's Sato.
Takuma Sato in his first drive for Chip Ganassi Racing is out of this PPG 375.
Will Power was struggling. Sato to the high side. And Sato just too high, trying to get around Power, and loses it in the marbles. And that is a brutal break for Sato, who was so excited about coming to Chip Ganassi Racing this season on the ovals, an oval-only program. And what a break that is for Will Power, for the caution to come out as he was dropping like a lead sinker. He'll be excited to come to pit lane. In fact, this might change everybody to that four-stop strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Will was looking a bit discombobulated there. He was falling back, and that, again, would have kind of led you to thinking he was going to a four-stopper, but this yellow is definitely going to warm-up race essentially for him heading into the month of May. We know actually this is the same car he is going to be running in the Indy 500, so always an issue to have damage to your Indy 500 car before you get there.
Let's have a look at what happened to the driver of the Natera Honda. Up high, way high, and boom.
First three-wide action we've seen so far. No grip up there.
And that's the end of the day for the two-time Indianapolis 500 winner.
Flag, you will lose 2 laps. You can lose 2 laps for a green flag stop, so that's something to bear in mind. We've seen the whole of the pit lane fill up now with cars. That's no surprise because we're approaching that first pit stop window. So the cars here, track position so important at Texas, so in for new boots and fuel.
Back at Texas Motor Speedway, pit stops just wrapping up, but there was contact on pit road between Kyle Kirkwood and Alexander Rossi, who is still trying to get his car to start back up. Rossi leaving his stall, Kirkwood coming into his stall. Bam, right there is the contact. And we were worried about that with Team Penske teammates Joseph Newgarden and Scott McLaughlin. That did not materialize, but this did. Look at that. Kirkwood coming from the third lane all the way into his stall. So, Hinch, I'll leave it up to you. This is the view from Kyle Kirkwood. Whose fault was this?
100% Kyle Kirkwood's issue right here. The outside front tire changer for Alexander Rossi is looking at who's coming down on the transition lane. That's why they call it the transition lane. You're not supposed to turn in from the fast lane. So 100% on the 27 of Kyle Kirkwood, and unfortunately, it wasn't just contact. You saw the hit was so good it damaged the right front suspension of the number 7 McLaren of Alexander Rossi. You see the crew there now going to work and adjust it. And that's always a tough thing. He's going to fall several laps down. And these cars are so sensitively on these ovals. Everything's got to be just lined up perfectly. A quick repair in pit lane like that can absolutely destroy your balance.
And Rossi was having such a great day.
Yeah, let's just take a look at this again. Hinchy, absolutely right. Kyle Kirkwood's on board here. And we could just go ahead and pause it in a second. Right about now. So Kyle Kirkwood is in the fast lane, delineated by this dotted white line. If you're going to be pitting, you really should be in this lane getting ready to go into your box, which signals to, let's pause it right there. It'll signal to Rossi's right front guy that there's a car approaching so that he would hold Rossi knowing that Kirkwood's about to pit. But when this guy sees Kirkwood in the high lane, he thinks, oh, that's a car that's launched and already finished a pit stop and leaving. So that's where the confusion comes from. And if we roll it from there, All of a sudden, Kirkwood dives from way high, surprises everybody, including Alexander Rossi, and it leads to that contact, and that's a brutal result for both drivers.
I'm not even sure Kyle was going to make it properly into his box from there anyway.
That was a steep angle,
It's a very steep angle to get into, and luckily...
It's almost like he forgot he was pitting.
It's like he missed it. It's like he misjudged where his box was in pit lane, which is, to be fair, quite easy to do from sitting low in these cockpits.
Here's the thing. He's at the high lane approaching Grosjean's box. Grosjean's the first car in pit lane.
So race control is reviewing that incident, which has had serious consequences for Alex Rossi. So expect Kyle Kirkwood to at least serve a drive-through penalty on this. We'll update you as soon as race control lets us know the fate of the Auto Nation 27. And Kyle Kirkwood, second-year IndyCar driver, first-year Andretti Autosport driver.
One of the toughest situations to survive through as a driver is what Alexander Rossi is going to have to do now, going several laps down, probably 10-plus laps down on an oval, only a quarter of the way into the race, and it's not even a quarter of the way into the race. Just having to pound around like that is so demoralizing.
It's the third race in a row here at Texas that Rossi's had issues, right? I mean,
yes,
so much bad luck year after year.
Came into this race fourth in the championship after a good run at the season opener. His day is all but done.
Alexander Rossi's luck around Texas Motor Speedway has deserted him. It was always going to be a busy pit lane as the whole field dived in, but well explained there from the NBC team. And also to note, I'm not sure what's damaged on that car, but this year and in at Texas is the new steering arm that Dallara and Indycar have developed, and it's it's got a longer element before the aero element of the steering arm begins, just on the upright end of the push rod, and that allows for more bend, for more flex to stop when there's wheel-to-wheel contact, the steering arm braking. Well, I don't know if it was the steering arm or a suspension piece, wishbone there. I'm not sure what it was for Alexander Rossi. Either way, extremely bad luck for him. He'll use this as a test before he heads to the month of May.
We want to say thanks to People Ready for the Force for Good challenge again on this year, for the first driver to win on 3 different types of circuits. Joseph Newgarden, it's very difficult to do, but Newgarden made it look pretty easy last year, and he did it in fairly quick succession. Unfortunately, we are under yellow again, folks, here at Texas Motor Speedway. It is just for the second time in this race in the PPG 375. It is for Felix Rosenqvist, who has had heavy contact, damaged his Arrow McLaren Chevy, and this is how it happened.
We had just circled the marbles high in turn 4 as those were accumulating. You can't see them when you're in the cockpit. Unfortunately, you can't watch the broadcast when you're in the cockpit either, and Felix Rosenqvist just a little too high, and the moment those right side tires get up in that Oreo crumble, it's game over. Watch here.
Yeah, when you look at the reference on the track, he doesn't look exceptionally higher than what we've seen drivers doing. Yes, there was a little bit of a gap to the car below him, but as you say, you can't really see it on the onboard. You can't see it from in the cockpit, and just a few millimeters too high. Very close, and we got a car on the wall. Stingray Rob.
This helps Pato Award massively. Stingray Rob's going to have a big hit.
Hold it up. He had no choice in that.
You thought he was going to slide along the wall, but the right side steering arm probably broke there, and once the tire settled down...
okay. Just got my bell rung a little bit.
Oh, it just turned him hard left. That's a brutal, brutal ride.
All right, everybody at home, you can breathe. So can we.
So can the drivers behind the wheel.
What a stint. What a stint. That was incredible. That was captivating, and that was intense.
Just wait. You had one guy in the mix trying to just save some gas. He's not going to have to worry about that anymore with this caution. And with only 8 cars on the lead lap, what does this do for David Malukas to pit now and put on fresh tires and go to the end?
Yeah.
And does anybody else decide to rubber up for this final restart?
This is what happened to Stingray Rob in the Biohaven car, way up high, trying to save it, but you're a passenger at that point.
Didn't hit particularly hard either.
Now you can see him, he's turning into the right to keep it up there, but as you say, Townsend, once the suspension is broken, it can point the tires in any direction it wants, and it just unfortunately, yeah, you see the right front just collapses. Oh, and it comes to a stop quickly. That was a big hit.
Yeah, that's a learning lesson for stick race. Somebody else got into the fence there.
Rossi, it looked like, got right up there.
But by forcing the car up into the safer barrier and grinding away on that right front, the steering finally gave up.
Good to see Stingray Rob getting out of the car with the help of the AMR safety team. Just getting everything disconnected. You've got radio lines, you've got air hoses, drink hoses, and there he is walking to the medical car.
So all the cars that are one lap down, from Ericsson back to Castro Neves.
Dixon watching what's going on. 2 cars in the wall. Graham Rahal.
Devlin DiFrancesco, I believe, as well.
This is what happened last year.
Same two.
Same two, guys.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go, man.
Oh, boy.
Such a good run going for Devlin DiFrancesco. Been running near or in the top 10.
That car has heavy damage to
all 4
the
corners.
tub. Second big crash in 2 races for DiFrancesco.
And you heard Graham Rahal on the radio say, sorry guys, I had nowhere to go. And unfortunately for Rahal, this is exactly how it ended a year ago here at Texas. He's out of the car.
You can see Devlin moving, he's punching the steering wheel. He's
just reminding you of what happened with these guys last year here at Texas Motor Speedway. Elio Castro Neves was involved in that one as well.
It was on the back straight, and what happened? Something broke on DiFrancesco's car, maybe. It looked like the front steering was towed in. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. He was coming into pit lane and slid up onto the racetrack, maybe.
I think he was broken. I think he must have hit the
exit
wall at turn 2 and was skidding down the racetrack out of control.
Man, he is so very lucky, Graham Rahal, to get airborne like that and not get all the way up into the fence. That is worst case scenario for an open wheel car on an oval. Nose to rear wheel contact, sends a car airborne. We saw it happen to Kyle Kirkwood in St. Pete at a much slower speed.
Let's take a look at another angle from the onboard here at Graham Rahal.
This is a scary ride.
So
I wonder,
I just can't figure out why.
Well, the right rear's damaged, I think, and
I think
the
you're right.
front.
I think he hit in turn 2 on the exit, maybe slid to the inside wall as well and was just trying to pedal it back. Wow, so lucky for Graham Rahal.
And he was trying his best to bring it as far left as he could before tagging that left rear of DiFrancesco's and flying. And this is maybe the beginning of the Devlin DiFrancesco problem.
Yes.
It sure is.
Right behind Rinus VK. Classic situation, washes up, car's damaged, tries to get to the pits but can't turn. And again, but O'Ward hanging high, but he's using up those tires up on the slipperier surface. Looks like Grosjean crashed.
Grosjean! Romain Grosjean out for the 2nd race in a row. In the closing phases.
And Joseph Newgarden is leading as the yellow comes out with 2 to go. They're coming to get the white. Guys, that might be the day.
That will be the day.
And he only just got Pato O'Ward, so for the 2nd race at Texas in a row, Joseph Newgarden's going to do it.
Back to the cause of the way that this race finished, and Grosjean there really close with Malukas.
Yeah, he just kind of faded up, pushed up at the exit of turn 2 and clipped the left rear of Malukas. And went for one heck of a ride. It's already happened, the contact at that point.
And I'm not sure it was contact. I think it's tough to see why, but he was just moving up the track. Malukas gave him room. I'm not sure if he just drove in.
That camber at Texas rolls off so aggressively at the exit, but the touch happened quite a bit earlier.
That's a real shame for Romain Grosjean. Drove very well today. Really well in the Andretti Autosport DHL Honda. Unfortunately, his 2 races this year have come to the same end result.
So this is 3 and 4. Malukas on the high side of the white and black car. see, was there contact? Oh no, Pelot just checked up so much, he got dirty air.
There's the touch.
But he was sliding up into David Malukas is incredibly lucky that he wasn't collected in that as well.
Yeah.
Big hit, my God.
Yeah, Roman kind of just drove it in there.